Hello. I thought I would do a quick little update for some things that I have figured out. So we're gonna go straight into the things. Starting with the new intro scene. I kind of was avoiding that because I thought it would be difficult to do, but it was actually really easy. To have like a introduction scene map. That's the starting map, and then start over on the other map, which is cool because now I've learned maps. It's just so easy. So I'll have to figure out all the consequences to the not easy to the more complicated parts for that. But let's click start. So the I think that's a Sylvia Plath. That's a Sylvia Plath reference, or not reference, but quote. And I think that's gonna play a like a chapter divider. I'm gonna use those as chapter dividers. I think that would be really cool. And then it starts this scene, and then the music kind of. I'm trying to figure out a good way to introduce the music, the background music, which is I know that like I could just have ambience, but I don't think that's necessary. Something I've learned from Clair Obscur is that having a musical elements to your non-rhythm game is really cool. Anyways, another thing I have done is I have started working on. I'm so dumb. I was gonna have like a whole thing. Hold on. Let me do this the stupid way. Alright. It's a little bit better. A little. I drew the side animations. The ones I drew originally were really, really bad. So I was just like, screw it. I need to redo this. And, well, now it's nice. I still need to do the up walk-in for this particular character. This particular version of the player character. But I do have that, so that's cool. Hold on. Let's get this back to... muted myself. Now I'm unmuted. Okay. So another thing I have figured out is... And I redrew the signs. I might redraw them again at some point. I don't know. I'm gonna figure all that out as we go along. The art style's got to be congruent. It's got to be fluid. But anyways... So now when you come over here, it says, I don't want to go home yet. I don't want to go home yet. So now you know, that way you explore more of the little world, right? And same up here, so go all the way up there to where you would actually do the map transition, which is indicated by the little lines in the ground. So if I go home now, I will have to do chores or rather eat brother's socks. So we're going to walk all the way over here. Do you like that? Anyways, now it does this, fades that music out. There is not a plugin to have music fade into each other, which really sucks. And someone was working on it, but they couldn't figure it out and they abandoned the project, which I feel bad, but I understand it's really difficult stuff. Anyways, and then I'll have a little thing indicating mood, and then I went through. I bought one matte light thing, not Vicicella, because I feel like it's really predatory to have your products that you other people haven't been able to come up with like a genuine replacement for, like through and through. I think it's really predatory to take advantage of that and make your products really expensive, like $30 or over that in bundles, like up to like 100 plus. Dude, chill out. $30, $15, even $30 for a single plugin is very fucking predatory, and I cannot get behind that. I don't care how hard you worked on that. That's not okay. You might still buy them, but that's why it's predatory. Anywho, so, but I do have this, and I actually like this plugin that I am currently using, because as you can see the map, the fog ish effect that I had put on it that I thought was really cool. Works very well with this. It goes through, it overrides the layer, which is really cool. I am happy about that. And over here in the corner, there's a fainter light. I haven't drawn everything for this map yet. There's gonna be like street light kind of things, you know, lights that come on at nighttime. Those are gonna be there, but I just haven't drawn it out yet. But I do have this cool light thing, and I kind of forgot to show you, but I'll show you I'll just restart the level after this real fast. I'll show you that the menu is dynamic. But anyways, everything else is still more or less the same, but I've figured out a lot. Sometimes it takes like forever to do, even it's just like simple things like drawing out character sprites could take like an entire day. Anywho, and there's the brother sock. We all know about that. And then you go in here and then you die. So some things need to get made to be a little bit more fluid, but other than that, I like what it is doing. And just fun fact, I guess it doesn't matter, but just fun fact, I have a layer on this map, on the intro scene map. I have an all black layer, so nothing glitches out immediately. If I could just have the layer on top of that is just a full black layer, it won't pop the map up in that transition, which is nice. So that's what I'm working with now. But if you see, so light and dark, good and bad, are big themes, very important themes to this game. And so when it is not dark, your map, or your menu is light, and then when it gets dark, your menu is black, or it is dark, which is really cool. I like that. Hopefully I could keep that when I get around to making custom menus. Hopefully I could keep that kind of window color system. I'm sure I could figure out a way if it gets complicated, but that is about it. And I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm gonna keep this fog overlay thing for all the. I think that's gonna be a core component of the style of the game, but we'll see as time goes on and I, progress and all the art becomes more together, more full. So we'll see, but I do like where it is going. And the next big thing for me to do is to figure out how I'm going to go about, well, a few things on my goal list. My next goal is going to be idle animations. And then I'm going to work on the second map, which is going to be like home, probably. I'll probably just go straight there. Maybe there'll be a map in between that brings you to home. I don't know. And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to go about character interactions and stuff like that, like in a scene where you interact, maybe their sprite changes sprites to a different version of that sprite that has like an animation and then back, stuff like that. And so idle and that, and then the big thing's gonna be figuring out a battle system. I know what I want to do. I have an idea of what I want to do. I kind of want to blend the Clair Obscur kind of dodge and parry kind of system. I haven't really figured out. I haven't found a whole lot of people who have done something like that, so it might be difficult to figure out how to do. But that would be the ultimate what I want out of that, as well as like blending that with Fear and Hunger style combat. And then I'm gonna figure out whether or not I'm gonna do permadeath. If I do permadeath, can there be resurrections? If there are resurrections, will it change an aspect of the character? I think that could be cool. I think I could do a permadeath system where you could resurrect a character who may have permadied. I'll have to figure out how to go about that, but it could be. I feel like it could be done. Maybe I can't. I don't. We'll find out. And that resurrected version of them is different. Like they have a different personality, kind of like how in Clair Obscur. Well, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but something like, say, like one of your companion characters, because other characters are going to be introduced in the game, right, to give it like emotional context, to give it to a pool to play with. But But I could do a permadeath thing where tragedies become very real, and then maybe I'll implement a system where again you can resurrect them. But when you resurrect them, they're kind of different. Like there's like like every time they get resurrected, there's like an additional like level of depression or other like neurodiverse kind of experiences that they go through, like PTSD and again like depression. Like they get more and more somber and more melancholic. That would be really cool. So that's something that I kind of want to go about figuring out. But that will be when that happens. Anyways, so the dark and the light thing as well. We'll see how I go about it. Right now, I have the beach theme music that you're listening to now that I made, and then I think like as it changes when darkness happens, I think that's like a good indicator. It helps build atmosphere and tension, and not having a completely separate track, but just the same track, but just a darker version of it. I think that's really cool. So, yeah. And then I'll have to, of course, after figure out a battle system. That's going to be a bit difficult one to do, so that's going to be one of my next big goals. But after that, smaller goal, I think I'm going to figure out other gameplay aspects. Am I going to do puzzles? If I do the puzzles, is it really going to be worth it? My inspirations here are very blatant. It's like old Final Fantasy games, like Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Fear and Hunger, and like other like darker games and like Dark Souls. So I don't know, we'll see, but I think that there's a lot of opportunity here with the ideas that I have to bring together something special. Whether or not that's something in the end that people gravitate towards, I mean, who knows? Maybe. I'm just gonna keep saying that, like, I'll never know, you know? We'll figure it out when it gets down to that, but, I really like what I've got going on here right now, and it feels very good to bring all these, things to life in a way that feels a lot more, good than it did if you go back to, like, the first videos I did doing all this, so. That being said, that's all I got to say. Take care.